So, welcome to everyone. You might be joining us today from the US, Africa, or whatever part of the world. My name is Brian Chongwang. I'm the CEO of JoinIT Solutions. I'm very excited to be here with you, including, the team at JoinIT. I will start by acknowledging the presence of our partners. One of our partners, actually, the College of Technology at the University of Boya, here represented by Mr. Professor Mike Anumu. I'd also like to seize this opportunity to thank our JoinIT instructors who are here to share knowledge with these our aspiring DBAs. Not forgetting the graduates of JoinIT Solutions, who some are already working today as DBAs, as data analysts, as Scrum Masters. Also, acknowledging all those who are still in the job market. Thank you all for making it possible to be here today. It's yet another day for our new student orientation. Everyone who passed through JoinIT is very familiar with this process. For today, we're going to be telling you who JoinIT is, how you can start and develop a career in IT, the various trainings that we do offer here at JoinIT Solutions, and why you should consider taking this training with us today. Before I proceed, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Anumu from the University of Boya. This morning, we had a partnership sync meeting, which we had very fruitful discussions that we're going to be building on. But just because we have trainees from Cameroon who are attending this orientation, Mr. Mike, I would like you to have the floor for a minute and talk to aspiring, IT professionals, especially those looking at joining us from Cameroon. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brian. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me, please?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Yes. Before I say the word to our prospective students, let me first of all seize this opportunity of the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of teaching, who is not here today, our certification program of the College of Technology in partnership with JoinIT Solution. I would like to say a special thank you to Mr. CEO of JoinIT Solution for all what you are doing, all the effort you and your team, a team of formidable instructors, what you are putting in to see how you can accelerate the digitalization of Cameroon through the College of Technology in the university. So we are very grateful for everything. To our prospective students, one of the things I've just noticed here is the number of students enrolled for this orientation. Just believe me that the university, we have not done any publicity. So I'm so impressed to see that number. That number shows that the training itself, is speaking for itself, because the quality of the training that JoinIT is doing, it is actually speaking for itself. This is the fifth session of the training, and everything has been so effective. So I want just to congratulate all of you for the smart. I know that you all already have some background in different academic background, per se, but adding information technology to your profile will give you an added advantage to any other thing you are doing. So it's a very good choice we've taken in choosing the College of Technology for the training. The last thing I would like to say here is that normally the process of enrolling through studying in the University of Boya and in the College of Technology in particular is through competitive exams. So, which means that you might take at least 4 years before you have a certificate issued by the university of Boya. But through this certification program, it has given everyone an opportunity to say that 6 months, you can take a professional training by experts from a reputable company like JoinIT, and the University of Boya issue you a certificate of completion towards that. So I would like that that you take that exercise seriously, not just getting to the ones, those that you want to help them to use this opportunity to enroll in our certification program. So once more, keep in touch. If there's any other question you would like to ask to the University of Boya, I'm here to answer that question. So, Mr. CEO, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nomo, for those wonderful words. And again, we want to sincerely thank the College of Technology for giving us the opportunity, to be able to impact our community. For those who are joining us here, I know we've talked about the College of Technology, University of Boya. So this is a combined orientation, including those that are in Cameroon who are taking this training through that our partnership, and also those that are around the world who are not based in Cameroon. So we're going to be tackling 2 orientations today, right? So thanks again, everyone who is attending today. And I want to assure you, it's going to be a very fruitful orientation. Before I proceed, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. If you have any questions, please use the Zoom chat to ask your questions. Check on the Zoom chat. At JoinIT, we have a lot of instructors, so they will be sending more information there for you to actually fill out. So, what do we expect today? Today, we have had a welcome. We'll talk about the audience, the people we are expecting to be here today, which, of course, you are one of them. You'll get to know who we are. We'll talk a little bit about information technology. We'll see how you can explore the IT field. There are various fields in IT. We'll look at the trainings that are being offered here at JoinIT Solution. We're going to define your path, help you define that path of success. We'll look at data management, talk about the training fees and structure, why you should take this training at JoinIT, the schedule of this training, and the next steps. Of course, we shall create time to answer all your questions. Before we dive deep, let us understand who we are. Some of you are not here for the first time. You must have heard this over and over. But JoinIT Solution is an IT consultancy. We are specialized in bridging the gap by helping individuals like you to start and develop a career in IT, as well as helping companies, with their IT needs. We have been in existence for over 5 years, in which we have partnered with various institutions.
Hello, Prof. The screen.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes. Probably he wants you to zoom the screen a little bit more.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Very much. Let me know if this is better. Sorry about that.
And you stop sharing too.
Okay. How about this?
Looks good to me. Guess it should be good for everyone too.
Okay. So, like I was saying, we have been in existence for over 5 years, and we have partnered with major institutions, including Microsoft, the College of Technology, WikiIT, and other IT institutions to see how we can impact our community by sharing knowledge. At JoinIT, we have our values, which are right, reliability, innovation, professionalism, and expertise. Here, we are a group of IT professionals who are actually working in the field. We have worked and we are still working for Fortune 500 companies around the world. The knowledge that we have acquired over these years is good enough to help transition you from an absolute beginner to an IT professional. Our vision is to be the leading gateway for IT solutions and skill development for organizations and professionals in the world. Not limiting this just to Cameroon, I mean to the world. Our mission is to train and equip IT professionals with cutting-edge technology that are needed to survive and thrive in a fast-changing IT economy. You all already know what IT is. Everything we do around is a lot of information technology. So we have partners, as I mentioned, Microsoft, the University of Boya, the College of Technology, and more. Why we work on building our partnership with the University of Boya to see how this university can issue end-of-course certificate, not just those in Cameroon, but everyone who will go through the trainings here at JoinIT. The University of Boya is looking at how we can effectively make this happen, meaning that if you take a training with us, you'll definitely be recognized as a certification training taken at the University of Boya. For now, our certifications or end-of-course training certifications are only issued to those in the University of Boya in Cameroon. And we, like I mentioned, are building on that. That is great news. How will it feel if you are here in the US, you are in Nigeria, you are in the Middle East, you take a training, enroll through the University of Boya, and at the end of it, you get an end-of-course certificate. Isn't that good? So you are in the right place. So who are we talking to today? We are looking at absolute beginners with no knowledge in IT. Individuals looking at starting a career in IT professionals looking at gaining more skills, anyone looking for a career switch, or parents looking at gaining knowledge to be able to orientate their kids. If you fall in any of these categories, then you're in the right place. If we have not mentioned your category, please stay with us. We just might have missed it. With all excitement, again, on behalf of JoinIT Solutions, I'm very happy to welcome you all here today. I'm going to be presenting you all this slide on information technology. It is good that you all should understand exactly what IT is before you are embarking on a career in IT. A lot of us in the past did not have this understanding. That is why we feel like we're a little bit behind. But the good thing is that with the knowledge that we have, we are able to bring you all seated here today to be able to educate you so as to help you make informed decisions. As we call it in Cameroon, ICT, which is Information and Communication Technology. So, if you are here today, it's because you have heard about this and you might be interested or just want to get more information. I am your host today, and I'll help you to give the information that will be able to guide you in picking that path in IT. Before I present this to you, a lot of people normally tell me, Brian, I don't know, I cannot start a career in IT because I don't have any IT background. I don't have a degree, I don't have anything. I'm going to use myself as an example. I've been in the IT field for over 13 years. It was yesterday that I graduated with my BSc in information technology. So I did not have a degree, but I have been working as an IT professional. That can be you. You can start today just like I did with no background in IT, get it going, and build on that. So, what is IT? Information technology involves the use of computers and softwares to manage and process information. In everything that we do today around the world, we use some sort of information technology. That is why we are able to connect today and discuss. I can see you, you can see me, I can share my screen, and that is information technology. Every company today has some sort of IT. Gone are the days where everywhere used to be manual work. If you have to understand IT today, just look at your phone. Look at even Njangi groups. There are apps out there now for Njangi, for those coming from Africa, Cameroon, where you can actually be contributing for these Njangis through an app on a mobile phone. Our grandparents today, we sit in the US and we call them through a mobile phone. So you see that the world has gradually changed and continues to change. And information technology is something that we must embrace at every level. It does not matter what knowledge you have, what fear you have. What you should be more concerned about today is how to get started, because the skills that you need today are skills that you will need them tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Do not be left behind. What is the scope and impact of information technology? It actually comprises everything from computer basics, hardware, to complex network systems and software applications. Come to think of it, ask yourself a question. How possible is it that you're in Cameroon today and I'm talking to you, you can see me? It starts with you, computer basics. You already have some fundamental skills in computer. You know how to join a Zoom meeting. Pretty much Zoom prompted you to download the app. So you are able to download and install Zoom on your phone. So information technology starts from those very basic things to now complex things which you're going to learn in the process. But you must always start from the foundation, which I am happy you all have started today. Everyday relevance. In everything we do on a daily basis, being it sending money to our loved ones, using mobile money, calling, communicating, doing research. Some of you are in school. You need to do research. You need to write your papers, your assignments, and submit them. Right down to even government organizations. So the world today is a global village, and that is made possible because of information technology. Why should you be left behind? So your journey, as you start your studies, you explore how to use technology to solve problems, innovate, and transform our world. Just like the developers of this Zoom application have transformed the world. We are able to sit today and connect through Zoom. The developers of the WhatsApp application make it possible for us to update our status. They have made it possible for us to communicate with our loved ones, and so more. Now, the future awaits. We are thrilled to have you here and are excited to see how you all will contribute to this ever-evolving and dynamic field. It has always been one challenge. How do I get started? JoinIT is here today to help you all get started. Again, my name is Brian Chongwine, the CEO of JoinIT Solution. I started information technology as an absolute beginner, graduated school as a carpenter, and today I am able to talk to you. So you are not in the wrong place. We have a formula that will definitely work for each and every one of you. I'm going to stop this. Just take a look at your faces to see how excited you all are. Hello? If you're excited, just say, hey, hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Outstanding. That is the smile I want to see on.
Hello.
Right? Okay.
Hello.
So just mute yourself. I will continue. I'll have time for questions. My next presentation, I'm going to talk to you about exploring the various fields that are in information technology. Please, if you can, if you're enjoying this, can definitely share this link with your loved ones, share it in your family WhatsApp group so others can join and learn. This is knowledge that we are sharing. If I had this knowledge when I just graduated high school, today, I'm pretty sure I would have developed an app. I would have been working in one of these Fortune 500 companies, building their databases, not only administering them. So if you are getting the knowledge today, then it is something that you need to start building on. Are we together?
Yes.
All right. Perfect.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Beautiful. So let us look at a lot of us here, we are concerned. IT, like we've mentioned, is very broad. People are asking, how do I get into IT? What can I do? Right? What is this IT all about? So we have this fear. A lot of people will say that I did not do science in school. A lot of people don't even know that IT is categorized in various disciplines. I want to use this opportunity today to try to break that down so you can actually see what skills that you have and what area can you concentrate in IT. Please mute yourself. The first thing that I want to talk about is computer hardware and networking. This is a branch in IT that focused on physical components of computers like CPU, RAM, hard drives, devices that helps to connect people together. If you are that kind of a person who likes a lot of hands-on stuff, if you're that kind of a person who did electricity, who did some sort of maintenance, who understands how to build and link stuff together, all this physical hardware stuff, then this is a good area for you to explore. Computer hardware and networking, which can also be referred to as the infrastructure part IT. You will understand today that what connects us is a network, right? And for you to be part of this network, you must have a hardware that can link the networks together. So like today, you have your physical device, which is your phone or your computer. That device, look at it as a hardware component. And that device has been configured where you can have access to the internet. Having access to the internet now is another form of network. You are leaving one network, which is a local network on your device, and you are able to connect with others through a wider network. So that is the branch of IT that connects people together. The next thing is software development. I'm just going to call it development. All the applications that we are using today, your Zoom, your WhatsApp, if you're working in a bank, the banking application, the application we use to send money, the application that people have been developing to like Uber, all of this falls under development. This part of IT is also very, very important because if you are somebody who is creative, someone who can think of problems that might arise in the future and be able to derive a solution through implementation of applications, this is something that is very good for you. There are a lot of trainings out there for software development. We should be talking about things like Pythons, JavaScript, C#, learning all these languages that you can use to actually develop applications to address solutions or needs of the public. Moving there, you have cybersecurity that deals with protecting systems, network, and programs. Cybersecurity is something, it's a skill that we all need to have because it is not just limited to securing network or applications. We also need to be able to secure ourselves. I've had a couple of scenarios where people would dupe you and get your personal information, even extract money from you. That is because you don't understand the aspect of security. Security is not just for IT professionals. For us as individuals, we need to understand what is security before even getting into the IT part of it. This is an area that is really growing very fast. With the recent, increase, cybercrime and everything, companies are investing so much in cybersecurity, where you will be able to help a company secure their network, secure their applications, secure their environment, and so on and so forth. So this is also something very good. You might be asking, all this information I'm giving you, how can you make use of it? Again, this is not a class on teaching you networking, cybersecurity, or software. It's just to open your mind. After this, pick these headings, go online and try to research on what you can do. The next is database management. If you all can bear with me, data is the new oil, as they put it. Data is the most valuable asset for individuals and companies. Data is the most valuable asset for government organizations. What is data? All what I'm telling you now, the words that are coming out, what you're seeing on my screen, the password to your Momo account, the password to your email account, all of this, that is data. That data resides in a database. So when we just talk of database management, this is how can you secure a company's data. This data resides in a database. Just think of it. If someone can get into your phone, read all your WhatsApp messages, that is data that they are getting. You have sent your password to people over the internet and someone gets hold of that, that is data that they are getting. So data is very valuable, and we shall talk about a career in the data platform. That is going to be my focus for today. Talking about database management, you can see it's still going further. Data science and analytics. You see that when you have this data, when you are able to understand what is data, the importance, and manage that data within a database, there are a lot of things now that you can do with that data. Companies need people to be able to use this data and help them make informed decisions. Companies need workers to be able to use that data and give them driven ideas. So ideas that will drive them to accomplish the company's goal. So that falls under data science and analytics, just analyzing the data and all of that. So that is also a career path that you can go. But now, should you just jump and start taking a training in data science? What route can you take that should get you to that point? At JoinIT, we start you from an absolute beginner and we help define your path. Excuse me. We help define your path for success. The next, we have artificial intelligence and machine learning. This is also an area in IT that is fast growing. You have heard about ChatGPT today. If you need to derive content for your end of course exams, you need to write a paper. A lot of these things now, people don't manually go sit and read books to do that. We have artificial intelligence that is already there, available for us to use and build our content. So this is also an area that is fast growing. And if you have that ability to build your IT career towards that path, then you'll never regret starting a career in IT. Of course, the next you're talking about IT support and services, help desk, just the basics that you can do to help others in IT. And we'll proceed with cloud computing, which is also a very important, area in IT. Should you just jump today and say, I want to do cloud computing? No. You need to understand what cloud computing is, what are the things that you can do fundamentally that will help you grow your career to become a cloud engineer. At JoinIT, we have that methodology, a well-structured approach that will help you get there. Information system management. Yes, we have new startup companies. This is something that you can learn to help companies define their IT path. A company that is just starting today, what are the things that they need in order to set up for them to be operational? So these are the various fields possible fields that you have in IT and more. Again, you can use this information, read more about them, and see if any of these best fit your need. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to present to you the various trainings that we're going to be offering at JoinIT Solutions starting this January 2024. These trainings have been well structured and designed to help you as an absolute beginner to start a career in IT. We have well-seasoned professionals who have been teaching, Microsoft certified trainers who will teach you from an absolute beginner's standpoint to a professional. So the various trainings that are going to be starting, we have database development. This training will teach you the fundamentals of database design. SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, data modeling, develop skills in creating and managing efficient, secure databases. Like I mentioned, a database is just that collection of related data, which is very important and the most valuable asset. So to collect this data, first, there is supposed to be a database. Who develops that database? What is the process of developing a database? Every application today that you see has a back end, which is a database. So that development has to be there. If you are a database administrator or anything, any career that you want to pursue in IT, database development is something that will help you definitely understand a lot of things. We're going to have Prof. Robert, who is going to talk to you all pretty soon about this. Next, database administration. This training, you will master the art of database maintenance, performance tuning, security, and you will gain the expertise in backup and recovery techniques and how to troubleshoot issues. When a database is developed, now data is being ingested into that database, you need someone to sit there and play the administration part. So this training is a hands-on training that will help you from an absolute beginner to understand how to administer relational databases. The next training here, we have the data analytics with Power BI. When you have a database developed, users access these databases. They store their data. An administrator is there to ensure that that database and the data within it is secure and accessible by the users. Now, what is the next thing? How is this data being used by the company? The company needs to have data analysts to be able to analyze that data and help them to make informed decisions. You will learn in this training how to visualize data. And you understand the concept of business intelligence using Power BI. You'll see how you can transform data into actionable insight through interactive dashboards and reports. So meaning that in this data analytics training, you have the databases, you have data in them, and you'll be able to look into that data and be able to help a company make informed decisions. Prof. Arnold is going to be talking to us today about this particular training. The next is AWS DevOps and Solutions Architect. In this training, you understand the concept and core principles of AWS cloud services and architecture. You get hands-on experience in DevOps practices, deployments, and operations in AWS. This training also, it will start with a fundamental of cloud computing and gradually take you to become AWS solutions architects and DevOps. I have one of my very young, dynamic, intelligent brother who is going to talk to you all today about this training. A young man who has also taken the training and is today happily working as a DevOps engineer. Of course, the next training we offer in this session is Scrum Master, where you will learn, agile methodologies to become a certified Scrum Master. Scrum Master is not just a training for one person. It's something that we need to learn. It's a training that we need to learn. You need to have the skills of a Scrum Master because it also helps you in your own daily life. So this training is also going to be offered this session. So, without much to say, these are the various trainings, and we'll go now deep into each of these trainings to tell you exactly what it takes. Again, I'm going to stop sharing just to take a break and ask you all, how are you doing? Do you all know this music? They say, how are you, my friend? How do you do, my friend?
That's for rich friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick
Come on.
Susanna, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice. Are you excited to be here?
Oh yes, I'm very excited because I have been waiting for this moment since I think 6 months. Because the first section I wasn't able to start, but this one I said no, I am not gonna let it go. So yeah, I'm so excited.
Outstanding. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Who else? Where are you from? Where are you attending from, Susanna? Are you in Cameroon or where?
Oh no, right now I'm attending from US in the East, in Maine, the cold state.
Outstanding. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, is there anyone in Cameroon?
Yes, I'm in Cameroon.
Aisha, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What part
It's a
of Cameroon?
pleasure to have this program. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to learn.
That is great. Learning is a continuous process. The only thing we ask is have an open mind. Always learn new skills. Don't get complacent. Okay?
Thank
So
you.
you're in the right place, and we'll definitely teach you. And we will learn together because I myself, I learn every day. So welcome.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. So I would like to have next will be Prof. Robert to talk to you all a little bit about database development profession. Hello, Prof. Robert, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Just so,
Good evening, everyone.
let me set the expectations. Prof. Robert is our training coordinator in Cameroon. He runs the JoinIT office in Cameroon, which you all will be introduced to shortly. You'll be able to write all your certifications directly from our office. If you're in Boya, you'll be able to go there and study and a lot more. So he is actually in Cameroon setting that up. Prof. Robert has a degree in computer science. He actually has 2 degrees, and he's been a database administrator for some time now. He is a very passionate individual, and you all will enjoy him once you start this training. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'll give Prof. Robert the floor to talk to you all a little bit about database development while I take a break. Can you all see my screen? I guess so.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Robert, the floor is yours.
No. Thank you, Prof. Hello, everyone. Good evening or good day, wherever you are. So how are you seeing the orientation so far? Are we meeting up to your expectations, or you're expecting more so far? Hello?
Well, just
Can
being the first day of orientation.
my screen. Oh, okay. So I'm going to be talking about database development. So at the beginning of everything, a house or whatsoever, you need a foundation for it. So we have been talking about data this, data that, and data this, talking right up to the stage where we analyze the data. But where do we hold this data? Data is being held in a database. So how does this database come about? You need to design the database, set up some parameters before the database comes about. So database development is the process of designing, creating, and maintaining structured data storage systems. So in the process, or in this course of database development, we'll be looking at this particular process. So the main responsibilities of a database developer, we have database design. So looking at the database design phases, we have different phases. The first one is the planning phase. In this planning phase, this is where you look at the things that you need. You want to build a house, for example, let's take a house. You want to build a house, you have to plan. I want to build a house in the next 1 year, the next 2 years. What do you need to build a house? You need a plot, you need a design, and so on and so forth. Those are the things you consider in the planning phase of your house. Bringing that into database development, you are looking at the various things that you need. I need a database for a school. Okay, I have a school, it is a secondary school, it is a high school. I need a separate database for the secondary school. I need a separate database for the high school. So after you have done that planning, now you move to the next stage, which is the analysis. This is where you analyze what you have and what you need in future. So you are building a house. You have decided that, yes, I want to build a house in 5 years. So you have moved to the analysis stage. What do I currently have? Do I currently have a plot of land? Yes or no? Do I currently have building material? Yes or no? If I have these things in place, what else do I need? Bringing that in back to your databases, we have decided that we need a database for the high school. So what do we need in that database? Maybe we need a database, tables for the teachers, we need tables for the students, we need tables for the grades, and so on and so forth. Once you have done all those analyses, now you are sure of what you have and what you need to put in place. Moving on to the next stage, which is the conceptual design. Now you come up with a concept of how you want your house to look like. Do you want your house to have 4 rooms and 1 bedroom and 1 toilet, 2 baths, whatever the design that you want? That is the concept that you have in your mind, right? Now, at the conceptual stage in the database, you look at the tables. What do I need to do on these tables? What information do I need to capture on these tables? For example, looking at the teacher's table, do I need to capture the teacher's age? Do I need to capture the teacher's address, the courses that the teacher teaches, and so on and so forth, right? Once you have looked at all of those things, now you move on to the logical design. The logical being, how does it present itself? Now you have brought your plan of your house. How does it fit on the plot of land that you have? The plan of the house that you have, is it bigger than the plot of land that you have? Yes or no? You look at all those things, right? Bringing it back to the database, you're looking at the relationship between the various tables that you have come up with. How is the teacher table related to the student table? How is the teacher table related to the course table? So in the course, we are going to be looking at all of these digitally. Once you have done all of that, you move to the next stage, which is the physical design. This is where you actually build the physical structure of your house, right? The foundation, the blocks, the roof, and all that, and so on. In the database development, that is where you actually create the objects that you have discussed, the tables. That is where you actually go in there physically and create these objects. Once you have done that, you move to the next stage, which is the implementation and data loading. This is where you plaster your house, you paint, you put your tiles, and so on and so forth. Looking at database, this is where you bring in the data now. You have designed your database, you have done all those things. Now you have to load in the data. Now, maybe you have an Excel sheet where the information about the teachers is all on. Now you import that into your database, you load into the database, right? You move on to the next stage, which is the testing. This is where your interior design comes in. Do you need to go with a white blind or a black blind? Look at your interior decor. You test to see which one actually fits well, right? With the database system, you are testing for that, for all performance issues, to see if you want to retrieve the data, is it going to be fast? How fast is it going to be? Are there going to be complications, and so on and so forth? Now you deploy and you maintain. This is where you move to your house, and now every day you have the task of cleaning and managing everything. That is where your database and those come in, maintain and need those databases. That is the key responsibility of a database developer, right? You have to understand SQL coding, requirement gathering, data modeling. How do you represent the data of a company so it looks presentable, it's easy for it to be retrieved, and so on and so forth, right? The professional opportunities of a database developer. You can be a database developer. That is, you'll be the person writing the T-SQL codes, that is the query languages, the coding that is required to manage those databases, retrieve the data that is needed, and so on and so forth. You can be a data engineer. Remember, we talked about data modeling. You are representing that data, right? You are collecting the company's data, representing it in a way that is professional, it is easy to retrieve, it is easy to analyze, and so on and so forth. And again, you can also become a database administrator. If you are able to design and implement something, you should be able to administer it and maintain it, right? So what are the main skills that are required for this role? You should be able to understand the query language. All of these, we are going to look at it. You should be able to represent data using the data modeling tools that are available for this specific task. You should be able to solve problems. You cannot design something if you are unable to solve problems, right? What if you are designing a square angle, whereas the angle requires a rectangular portion? If you don't have the problem-solving skills, you will not be able to go up with that. Collaboration. Remember, as a designer, you have to collaborate with different people at different levels. You have to same thing as a database developer. You have to collaborate with the database administrator, data analyst, and all those other fields that are there. The benefits. The very first one is the high demand in the tech industry. The first, at the beginning of the orientation, the CEO said, data is the new gold. It is always high in demand. So if you pick up a career in any data-related field, you have an upper hand in the IT industry, right? You're always in demand. Competitive salaries. Sometimes we always talk and say, think about the money, right? The money should also be your motivation. The salary, there's a good pay as a database developer. If you look, normally in engineering, that is the civil engineering, the architects always have the larger sum of money, right? They have a good pay. To design these skyscrapers and all of that, that is huge money. The next thing is the key role in data-driven projects. So you cannot have a database administrator, you cannot have a data analyst, you cannot have data engineers and all of those things without actually having a database developer. That is the base. You need to design what holds the data that they manage and manipulate. So This is just an overview of what the database development profession and the database development course is all about. In the training, we are going to dive deep into this, and we are going to look at each of these phases deeply. So with that, I don't know if you have any questions for me, and then we'll move on from there. 2 questions.
We shall take questions in the end of it, Prof. And thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. I feel like I need to go back and take a class on database development, right? One thing that you all understand here is that even if you are an administrator, if you are looking at application development, every application has a back end, which is a database. So you can start looking now at full stack developer. A full stack developer is someone who can start developing from the database to the front end of the application. So we really encourage you, if you're looking at more development part in IT, this is a training that you should enroll in. Again, thank you so much, Prof. Robert, for that wonderful presentation. The way he has presented that is the same way he's going to teach you. He goes as fast as the slowest student, right? So you all are in the right place. You'll get to hear again from others. Wait until I get to the point where Prof. Barbara is going to be presenting on SQL Server database administration. Then you'll get a good idea of the caliber of instructors that we have here JoinIT. So the next, I would like to bring in Prof. Arnold. Prof. Arnold, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here, Prof. Sorry.
Okay, if you can have your video on, I'll share my screen. And Prof. Arnold, again, just in the same level that Robert has taken us, Prof. Arnold is going to also be giving you an exciting one on data analytics with Power BI. Prof is a very, very interesting person, dedicated and passionate about what he does. He's one of those with highest academic qualifications when it comes to this data management part here at JoinIT. He has been teaching database administration as well as data analytics. So it will be a pleasure to be taught by someone who has both the practical and the academic backing when we talk about data management. I'm going to share my screen, and Prof. Arnold, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Prof, for that introduction. So, guys, you're all welcome once more. I feel like right now you guys are already expert in database management based on Prof's earlier presentation. However, I'm going to continue from where he stopped. So you're going to see that all of these things we are doing here at JoinIT, they are related, even though they seem to have different names. Like you heard him talking about database, he talked about a lot about database engineering and things like that, pulling data from different data sources, managing those data and all of that. So at the level of Power BI, in the first place, Power BI in itself, it's a powerful tool that it's being used for to analyze data. You know, the data that he talked about, you pulling from different sources and trying to analyze them. This is one of the tools that you're going to be using. And when we talk about Power BI, we are looking at things like business intelligence or data analytics. So what in itself is data analytics that we are talking about right here today? Data analytics is basically you pulling data from different sources, making informed decision with this data, so that your executive or whoever you're working with can be able to see at one spot what the situation of the company is. Okay, this is data analytics. There are a couple of different tools that are out there that are being used to perform this. We have R, we have Python, and there are a lot of them out there. But in JoinIT, we are going to be dealing with Power BI. Again, as I said earlier, Power BI is a very powerful tool We do use it to pull data from places, from different relational databases, such as SQL Server, okay, Oracle, Excel, text file, so many different sources, okay? So this tool, we use it to pull data and analyze this data by, first of all, transforming the data to make more sense of it. Just imagine you capturing record on a ledger or in a spreadsheet, and this record is entered in any order. Power BI is a tool that is going to help you to organize this data, to transform it, remove noise from the data, okay? Remove noise and put the data in a proper model. So Power BI can be used for modeling, as I said earlier, and also after modeling the data, which is what we are going to be doing, we are also going to be able to visualize this data. Say, for example, your manager wants to see, or the executive, or you, for example, you are running a business and you want to see on a page like this, how much revenue have you made? What is your profit for today? What are you expecting tomorrow? Who is owing you? Who has not paid, and things like that. You want to see all this information in a dashboard in just one page like what we have here. We are going to use Power BI to do things like that. Power BI leverages the opportunity. Once you learn a tool like this, it gives you the opportunity to be able to become a Power BI developer. You can also become a data analyst. You can also become a business intelligence analyst, okay? There are different positions out there that you can always find yourself in for as long as you implement what we are going to be teaching you. As far as information out there is concerned, when you look at the Gartner chart, Power BI is classified as one of the most used tool for business intelligence, okay, or data analytics. If you compare that with, it's mostly comparing with Tableau. As we go on with our classes, when we start, you guys are going to understand a little bit of this more. So these are some of the things that we are going to be looking at when we definitely start our class. We are also going to be touched on a very important language in SQL Server that they say it has its own language, which is called SQL language. In Power BI, we have DAX. Some of you might have heard about DAX. It's data analysis expression. This is a powerful language that we are going to be using to visualize or model our data. We are going to create dynamic dashboards that are related to each other, paginated reports and things like that. So in a nutshell, this is how powerful this tool is, and we are going to be using it to create data that, or to make meaningful, to make good meaning of data, okay, that we are going to be pulling from different sources. If you guys have any question right now, or you want to drop in your questions later, I'll be very much glad to give you any answers that you have.
Wow, again, thank you so much, Prof. Arnold, for that wonderful presentation. I'm pretty sure some of us here are already looking, asking the question, can I take both trainings at the same time? Can I do database development and data analysis or business intelligence? Who is in that confused state? Who is excited to start a career in IT with the data analytics training that we're going to be offering? Just use the Zoom to raise your hand up. All right. I see a couple of you. That is great. We are just getting started. So just to round up, please mute yourself. Thank you. So just to round up on the aspect of the training related to data management, I would like to bring in one lady. People have been asking, why is it that only men are talking? So it will be my pleasure to present to you Barbara Pozo, one of our very powerful instructors here at JoinIT. I call her, she's my senior when it comes to the hands-on experience. So she is actually a to-go person for all the ladies here and even us the men. She is very powerful. She just recently graduated as well with her master's in information technology. That is to tell you that at JoinIT, we don't get complacent. We might be making all the money, working multiple jobs, but at the back of our mind, we need to still empower ourselves to be able to empower you. I will now share my screen and have Barbara. Let me share my screen here. If you can see my screen. All right. So Barbara, here you go. Oops.
You are okay. That's perfect. Hi, everyone. Brian has a habit of always putting so many red feathers on my black cap. And you guys should forgive my voice. It's a little bit down because I was coding at the Lions yesterday when they were playing against Senegal. Unfortunately, they couldn't hear me. So anyway, and one thing that I almost made was if I had a contact of their coach, I would probably enroll all of them to do database administration because they made me unhappy yesterday. That's by the way. Just wanted to, bring us together. So I am not only into IT, I equally like soccer a little bit. And so since I did not have the opportunity to play soccer, I'll make sure that I grow a soccer player and I make friends with those who like soccer. So if you like soccer, hit me up, okay? And so it's always a privilege, a unique opportunity for me to sit down and talk to people, advise, encourage people to get into the world of IT. Because when I got into IT, my life changed. And when I say my life changed, my life changed. And database administration is one of our very, it's one of our main courses here in JoinIT Solutions. This is how we started. We started by providing training for people to become database administrators. And if you take a training in database administration, you become what we call a DBA. So you may go out there and someone tells you, I am a DBA. It means that the person simply means they are a database administrator. And you can either become this DBA or you become a data engineer or a data architect. I remember my first job, I got there and they said I was a principal data architect. It's just that I was scared. I would have told them that, no, this is not what I trained to become. And then I had another job and they said I'm a data engineer. So all of these things will mean the same thing and you're doing the same thing. So environments just call them differently. So once you're done with this training, you're going to become a database administrator, a data engineer, or a database architect. Okay, now, these people make really good money, and I remember Prof. Allen always says that DBAs have dough. So this is the first time I heard this word from him. He says DBAs have dough. And so what do they do in order to get this much money that they have? DBAs really have money. All they do is that they install and configure SQL Server or any relational database management system that they are supposed to work with. And I also remember the first time I was told about installation and configuration. And the explanation that was given to me remained in my head until today. Because the word itself is scary. As a DBA, you say you do installation and configuration. That word itself is scary. And this person explained it to me like this, that I should look at installation and configuration like you are installing a new app on your phone, an app like WhatsApp, an app like Instagram, an app like Facebook. You're downloading it from somewhere, right? And then you install it on your phone and you configure it based on your needs. In this case, it is the same thing, but for the fact that You are installing this new software on a computer and you're configuring it based on needs. And then after you've done this installation and configuration, now that app now exists or that software now exists. In our case, we are going to be using a software called SQL Server. There are other softwares like Oracle, Postgres, and just so many others. Once you are done with this installation, the next thing you need to do is that you need to ensure that the performance of this software you've installed is optimal, because this software stores databases and the database carry very critical information. You will now notice that you need to ensure that this database is always up and running. Now, let us be very practical here. Imagine that you want to access your bank information. You want to access your Bank of America app, and you're unable to have access to it because it's saying that it's down, it's not accessible at this time. Then you're equally in a store and you're trying to shop, and then you insert your card and you're not able to retrieve or make a payment for that. You are at the ATM, you're unable to get your money because the database is down or the application is down and all of that stuff. How sad is that? That's so much of an inconvenience. So as a DBA, you need to make sure that those databases that are stored in that software you've installed are always available, and are not only available, but they are never slow, they never time out, they perform like they should. Another important thing that is supposed to be in the DNA of a database administrator is backup and recovery. Now, you will notice that when you have this information, these databases on that software, they keep adding data in there and they keep adding data in there. You know, they always say that man make machines, but machines disappoint man. What happens if your computer or what the host, what houses that those databases, what if it completely shuts down? What are you going to do? Is the database just going to shut down like that with people's millions of dollars in there? The answer is no. They're going to probably arrest you. I'm just kidding. So what you're supposed to do is that you need to make sure that you make copies of the data that is in there and store them somewhere so that in case of any eventualities, you can perform what we call a restore, bring them back so that users can continue having their information as if nothing happens. So that is your role as a database administrator. Make sure that those databases are performing very well, and you also ensure that in case of any eventualities, you have something to fall back on. We have security management. This one is always the talk of the day. The databases are there. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry has access to those databases. You as a DBA, you have full access to those databases. You control whoever gets access into those databases. Just like your phone. There are some people that I think that if I get their phone, if I stay with their phones for years, I will never ever have access to that phone because of the way they have secured the phones. That is how because maybe they have critical data in their phones. Hello, am I communicating to the men? They probably have really critical data in their phone that, you know, some third parties cannot go in there and access the data like that. So that is how you protect your databases. You protect your databases like men protect their phones, right? So there are so many different things that you will do on your databases to make sure that they are protected. And whatever software you're using, which in our case is SQL Server, we make sure that they have different stuff that you can do to ensure that those databases are secure. Are you encrypting them? Are you putting a username and password and all that good stuff? Then we also have high availability. This high availability too will fall under the domain of the backup and recovery. You are just making sure that there are copies of your databases somewhere in case something were to happen so that you can fall on them and make sure that the users do not disconnect, the users do not experience any slowness or any failures. And just like I had mentioned already, once you're done with this training, you can become a database administrator, a DBA. You can become a data engineer, you can become a database architect, and many other big names that companies choose to call their database administrators, or those who are administering their databases. Now, what skills do you need in order to make it to this level? Number one, you must have computer basics, right? You cannot be a DBA when you don't know how to mute yourself in a Zoom meeting. You cannot be a DBA when you don't know how to right-click on your mouse. when you don't know how your file explorer is, how to partition your data, your storage, and all of that good stuff. And these are things that we are going to teach you. You cannot be a DBA when you don't know how to manage data. And these are skills that we are equally going to teach you. You need some SQL querying as well. And this SQL querying is quite easy. You know, it's just T-SQL, and this is just the language that the database understands, right? There are two ways that we can do things as a database administrator. First, we can use the graphical user interface, which is just clicking what you're seeing. And we can as well use SQL querying to do stuff. And we are going to train you all on that. Troubleshooting. This one is supposed to be in your DNA. You know, all of us started troubleshooting when we even started crawling. You know, like I always see how babies troubleshoot. Have you ever seen where a baby is stuck on something and they are struggling to climb, they are struggling to turn, you know, and even you, sometimes your phone is acting up and you end up saying restarting your phone, removing the battery, removing the SIM cards. Those of us who started with analog phones, you know, you even uninstall and reinstall some apps. Those are all troubleshooting. Even when you're, you know, thinking in your head, you're troubleshooting stuff within you. As a DBA, we are equally going to troubleshoot. But the thing is that we are going to be troubleshooting our databases depending on what problem we are facing. Then we have the skills you also need as security best practices. Just make sure that you know how to create users, you know, encrypt those databases and set strong passwords. I guess you know what I'm talking about. And what are the benefits of becoming a database administrator? High demand in the IT industry. Wow. One thing that motivated me into getting into this field was the fact that, you know, when I got to an orientation like this, I was told that, you know, that DBAs are in high demand. And then immediately, I always communicate a lot with Google. I went on to Google and said, database administration jobs in America. And I was blown. So there is high demand in the IT industry. Competitive salaries, exactly. Like Prof. Allen always says, these people have dough. When I say people have dough, I mean that I have dough and every other DBA equally has dough, ask them. And this is a critical role in every data-driven organization. I remember when they were laying off in one of my companies, people got laid off and my feet were shaking. And guess what? Instead, they came to our department and asked if we needed more people to support our databases. So while they're laying off in other departments that I will not call their names, they are going ahead and hiring more professionals in the data in our IT team or in the data management team. Now let us conclude with this. Database administration is a process of managing and maintaining a database system to ensure that it functions properly, it is secured, it performs, and it's always available. DBAs are responsible for overseeing and controlling various aspects of the database system. Typically, a relational database management system could be Microsoft SQL Server, it could be Oracle, it could be MySQL, or it could be Postgres. And so what we are going to be focusing on in our own program is going to be SQL Server. Do we have any questions? Keep them for the end. And thank you all for listening. Brian.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. Bobby. I believe that that is so encouraging, and I see some hands, you know, over there. Please, you have time to ask questions. You have time to ask questions. So let us just proceed. Before I bring in, I know we still have to talk about our AWS and Scrum Master, but let me just break the silence a little bit and talk to you all about your path here at JoinIT. Okay? So before we bring in the other trainings, so let's talk about your path at JoinIT. So the first thing here is that at JoinIT, we have online instructor-led classes, meaning that you're going to be in class with just sitting as we are sitting today. Instructors will be able to share their screens. You'll watch them do what they're doing. They'll troubleshoot your error messages with you, right? You have our trainings are very interactive, and we go at a pace that you all will understand. The next thing is we have hands-on practical learning. So we apply knowledge through real-world projects. When Prof. Arnold was talking about deriving decisions from data, Prof. Bobby talked about creating users to secure your databases. These are things that we do them practically. You will do them throughout the training. We don't come and read textbooks for you, right? You'll be able to gain valuable hands-on experience if you take any of our trainings. We have experienced instructors. You learn from industrial-based professionals, right? You get insight into current industry trends because all of us are working with Fortune 500 companies, and we're going to be teaching you exactly what is being done at work. Our training fees also are very affordable. The quality of training that you get here, believe me, you will not match it to the dedication of our staff and our institution towards your success. We also do help you with interview preparations. Taking this training, the first thing is to empower yourself, meaning that you want to learn and have the skills to be able to perform the duties of whatever profession you are going after. But now, what is the next thing when you have those skills is to secure a job. And you only secure that job if you know how to present what you have learned, which is being done through interview preparations. So we're going to prepare you for interviews, help you look at your resume, tell you how to apply for jobs, and push you to be able to apply for jobs, right? And we'll also have sample interviews, like your project presentations in class, where you'll be presenting to a panel, right? The next thing here also is on-the-job support. Even when you get a job as a graduate of JoinIT, we understand that is your first IT job. So we are there to support you. We have a forum where you have an issue, you post it there, we respond immediately. All our professionals who are working today are in our alumni group, and every message that comes in there from a new professional or someone who just got a job is high priority. We call it our 911 group for all new IT people. Next is your community learning experience. At JoinIT, you are not trained by Brian. You are not trained by Bobby, not by Alan. You are trained by a community. So you will have over 26 instructors, which they are available to help you 24/7. The community is very big. We are saying that we are more of a community than just a training school because together we want to grow. Okay? So this is just to make you all be comfortable and confident that you are in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and have Prof. John Bimi. Are you there?
Yeah, thank you. I'm here.
All right. So I'll have Prof talk a little bit to us about the Scrum Master training that we are going to be offering. Prof is also one of our he's one of our partners from JoinIT. We really partner with the best, and he has already completed the first training, Scrum Master, with very positive feedback. Prof is my very good friend, a brother based in Germany. You see how IT is connecting us together, and he is passionate about giving back to his community through our partnership. So, Prof, I will have you take the floor and talk a little bit about the Scrum Master profession and the training that we offer.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, for the opportunity. And I believe that it's been a lot of talking, but I believe the talking has been valuable one. And it's also great to see the only lady amongst us coming up very strongly. So congratulations, and we are proud of you. So I will just try to be very brief and direct to what all of this is about. There's a lot of talk about Scrum. And so what do I do as a Scrum Master, and what will I be training you if you are interested in this? So think of a Scrum Master like one who is like coordinating, facilitating, making the work of DBAs, software developers, and everybody in the IT team, making their work easy. It's the same like they say, if there is no order in the room, if there's nobody to lead, to direct, to make things easy for the team, work will not be delivered. They will build the databases, but how will they get to that point where they will do it in a coordinated manner? So what is Scrum all about? It is an agile methodology, and this falls within the management aspect of IT. So you have all the hardcore IT explained in the slides previously, and you also have the management aspect of it. And being a Scrum Master, you are just helping your team be agile. And what is agile, from the definition of the word, is all about being flexible. Flexible in the sense that an agile team operates in a way that they don't plan projects up front. They don't want to be picture perfect, but they want to try to experiment and see if their process, anything works. And then if it doesn't work, then they see what they have to change. So as a Scrum Master, you are an agile project facilitator. You are an agile coach. You are coaching your team on the Scrum framework. We'll call you an agile evangelist. They will call you a facilitator. You are a servant leader. I will give an example of what I do on a daily basis. Currently, my team, I work with data engineers, data scientists, data architects, and so on. So my job is to make their work easy, to organize their work for them. Already the meetings they are having through the year, I've already organized them and put them in their calendars. That is part of my job. I make sure that in their meetings, they have an agenda and they follow that agenda. They don't deviate from the agenda. There is some focus, because with all these IT people, with all these software developers, DBAs, and so on, it's very easy for them to get lost in technical details. And at the end of the day, the goal of the meeting is not achieved. So as a Scrum Master, you are there to facilitate. What way will you help them to make a decision, to arrive at a conclusion of what they want to do as a team? You are also there to help them become a team, because you can put individuals together in a room and you call it a team, but if they are not collaborating, if they are not communicating, if they are beefing, if they are having unnecessary conflicts, work will never be delivered, no matter how talented they are. So the job of a Scrum Master is like that non-technical person within the team who does this leadership, who tells them or who coaches them on the framework. So Scrum in itself has its own events, it has its own theory, it has its own artifacts. In the team, like if you talk to these DBAs who have been giving you all the wonderful information, how they work in their teams, they work in a structured way, in a process. They don't just deliver everything on one day. They have structured it in chunks, in iterations, in sprints. And they also have like a project management platform where they are able to visualize what they are working on at every given time. That is, they use a platform called Jira. So as a Scrum Master, you are also doing what we call backlog management. You are supporting your product owner. So we will teach you in this course what Scrum is all about, what are the Scrum events, who are those who make up the Scrum team, and everything you need to know. So I always get this question: what do I need to do or to learn or to know? What background do I need? Do I need to be a hardcore IT person to be able to do the job of a Scrum Master? Where do I start? The answer is it doesn't matter. You do not need to be an IT person. I myself am coming from a teaching background. I did agricultural resource management. And then I switched into this direction. And leveraged the skills I was bringing from my teaching background, and my ability to connect with people and to communicate. The people skills as a Scrum Master, you really need to have an A game of soft skills. You should know how to communicate. You must have the ability to understand individuals. You are situationally aware. You know how to talk to people. You are enthusiastic. You are empathetic. You are charismatic. You are that person who is like a charmer. Everybody connects to you. You make people feel comfortable. That is what I leveraged. And that is what I came into this field with. And I was able to sell it to a company to see the value in me to employ me. And then when I got in, it's the same like they say when if you move around with thieves, then you definitely start to reason or think like a thief or learn the skills of a thief. So now I can talk about user experience design. I will understand what database administrators do. I will understand what data analysts do, software testers, front-end developers do, because I am in that milieu. And like Brian said, in this environment, we not only teach, but we also empower ourselves to be able to empower you. I've been taking courses, course after course, course after course, to be able to explain to you if you ask me a question. Now that as a Scrum Master, you are working with all these people, software developers, front end, back end, DBA, BA, business analysts, and so on. All of them are in one team. And you are the person leading them. You are the person making their work easy, facilitating. And the role of a Scrum Master from the creators of Scrum was designed intentionally to be non-technical, because they need that person in that environment who will not see things the same way as the technical people will see. So it doesn't require that you have hardcore IT skills. But if you have them, it is a plus. And you are in that environment where if you want to start with database administration, data analytics, etc., you have it all here. You have it all here. JoinIT has given you that platform where it is one stone and you shoot 10 birds. So what are the job descriptions? Or what, if you learn Scrum, what would you be able to do? What can be a job description for you? You can be an agile coach. You can be a Scrum Master. It depends. Many companies will call it differently or will define the role differently based on their projects. So this is a very handy skill that will help you. And I would also say for someone who is so afraid of IT, like me in the beginning, I started with this and I felt like, oh, it was also like the same literature things I was reading. But as I got in, I got to realize that all this thing they call IT is just being mystified. It's just been mystified. It's a mystery that was made for us to think that you must have studied science, you must be good in maths. No. You just, all we need from you, have your laptop, have your internet, bring your passion and the ability to continuously learn. That is how all of us talking to you here started. Nobody started from high up there. We worked our way up. So I would not want to take too much of your time, but I will just say, see you on the other side. And thanks for listening.
Wow. Thank you so much, Prof. And I'm being able to coordinate this Zoom now because I've learned some agile principles as well. So agile is not just for people who are looking at starting a career in IT. Anyone, it will help you in your day-to-day life. You're a teacher, you have students to manage. If you learn this Scrum Master, it will help you to become a better version of yourself. So this is a training that everyone should definitely take it, right? So thank you so much. And we have one last course that I'm going to present to you that will be done by Darren, one of my very young dynamic, intelligent guy. So he's going to talk to you all about Scrum Master. And then from there, we're just going to give you, we are almost done. In the next 15 minutes, we should be done. We'll tell you what are your next steps, what has to be done, what is the class schedule, and everything. Darren, are you there?
Yes, yes.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen and have this young gentleman talk to you all a little bit about AWS DevOps and how this training will be taking place here at Join IT. So you have the floor.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you everyone for joining again. Welcome to this orientation by JoinIT Solutions. I hope that you are loving the orientation so far. So today we'll talk briefly about AWS DevOps and the solution architect professions. So the very first that we have on the list is, what is AWS? So AWS simply means Amazon Web Service, and it's a cloud platform that is owned by Amazon. We have examples of different cloud platforms like GCP, which is the Google Cloud platform owned by Google. We have the Azure, which is owned by Microsoft. But for this program, we'll be focusing on the AWS cloud platform. So to get you a better understanding of what AWS is all about, or what a cloud platform is all about, I have to introduce to you the two approaches of how we host applications in IT. So there are two approaches, the cloud and on-premises. So on-premises is basically an approach where a company has a building and they have a server room, and in the server room they have supercomputers, and they have computers in the server room where these applications have been hosted. So, but this is a limitation because there's the hardware is expensive and the security is not top notch. So you realize that with on premises, it's easy to hack. Thieves can even walk into the building and get and interrupt the servers, and things like that can happen with on premises. So companies like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon have seen that this is a problem, so that they introduce the cloud. AWS cloud is an example, and it's the cloud with the highest range of services. And this way they are cheap, and they are giving us the possibility of hosting those clouds, to hosting these applications on the cloud. And we don't need to have a server room anymore. We need to eliminate the on-premises architecture. So you found most companies in the world right now are migrating from on-premises to the cloud because of the types of services that the cloud brings to us, because of the improvements, because of the solutions that they have brought into place. So that's what AWS is all about. We have different services in AWS that are going to help developers, help everyone in IT, deploy their applications on the cloud. So second on the list is, what is AWS DevOps? So DevOps is simply a bridge between development and operations. If you look at it, it's talking about the agile practices and AWS services which are found on the cloud. We realize that agile practices has to do with the system development lifecycle. For example, a company like MTN wants to produce an application. There are stages, or there are phases that the entire team has to go through to get the application up and running. For example, we have 6 stages of the system development lifecycle. We have the requirement analysis, we have the system design, we have implementation, we have testing, deployment, and maintenance. So every application has to go through, every software that we have out there has to go through this process to be able to produce the software. And Agile is leading right now because a lot of organizations still are transitioning from the waterfall model, which are models in system development lifecycle, are just patterns that companies in the software industry use to produce an application. So we have, for example, the Agile, which is leading right now, and the good thing is Agile. That's where we also have things like Scrum Masters, to coordinate that these softwares are actually produced successfully with the timings and everything that is instituted in producing a software. So AWS services, there's a wide range of AWS services on the cloud. We have S3 for storage. We have compute services. We have EC2 instances. And these are basically servers where we can have operating systems, Windows operating system, Linux operating systems, and we can, on the cloud, you can manage this from anywhere in the world, provided you are connected to the Amazon account. You can manage the cloud from anywhere, unlike the on-premises where you have to walk up to a building or to a room to be able to manage these services. So the next phrase of what is AWS DevOps is the CI/CD. CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous delivery. So the entire scope of a DevOps engineer, the entire main goal of a DevOps engineer is to help developers or to help application developers make changes to their software seamlessly and easily. And the only way to do that is to automate those processes. For example, if we decide to build an application today for Momo or having whatever idea that we have and bring to the table, and we decide to build application, that application is not going to remain like that. There are always changes, improvements that need to happen to the application all the time. We have to make changes, we have to make improvements, we have to make updates, and these developers will be the one to make those changes, those updates, those trends. And when they do that, we have to make sure that the changes of those that the application developers are doing are deploying to the application without a downtime. A downtime is simply a point where the application is down. For example, if Amazon.com don't have to work for 5 minutes, they're going to lose millions of dollars. So that is why they need people who they can be able to make changes to the application without the application going down. It's always going to be there. The changes are always going to be possible. The application developers are always going to be working on making updates, improvement, challenging the competitors in the same sectors, in the same industries. So as a DevOps engineer, you are a bridge between the development and the operation, helping application developers to make changes to the website, to the application easily. So we have examples of CI/CD tools like Jenkins, we have GitHub Actions, and this is pure automation. You're going to win in the market because you can automate. You can help those developers make those changes fast, seamlessly. You're going to win the market. They're looking for automation. Automation is the best part. If you master the program well, and you can be able to secure any job, any DevOps job in the world, provided that you are good with your automation. Next on the list, we have the infrastructure as a code. So remember, on AWS Cloud Platform, we have services. And the default way to do this is to log into the AWS Cloud Platform in the management console where you see all the services, and you click and you create the services manually. But what happens when you start working for a company? What happens when you start working for a big company, Fortune 500 companies? They have so many clients. They're trying to deliver this application to so many clients. So you have to go on the management console and do something 500 times. So you realize that you might make mistakes. I mean, human beings are bound to make mistakes. So if you have to recreate the same services or the same solution 500 times, you might not be as accurate as that. That's why the infrastructure as a code exists. Examples are Terraform. We have CloudFormation. Those are different tools that different organizations use for infrastructure as a code. You realize that they use infrastructure as a code, which is writing those services as a code and just replicating the services in different environments. Okay, so replicating the services in different environments easily with just 3 commands. You can replicate the same service for every new client that comes. So this is a good tool. It's a good technology which is highly required in organizations now. They are looking for this idea because the more they grow the client, the more they do marketing, the more they get clients, the more they want to distribute this service, the more they want to distribute this service in the cloud to their clients, and they need somebody who can automate that. They don't want you to do that manually, going to the management console and having to do this solution to 500 clients. They want you to be able to do the same thing in different environments, different times, and so many times, and they want you to automate that. So, which brings us to the next point. What's a solution architect? A solution architect is simply someone who understands the services in the cloud and solves complex business solutions. He brings the solution of a client. We're trying to get a business that can buy this and we need this with an e-commerce website. You as a solution architect need to recommend the best services in the cloud that it will need to use to be able to provide the right and effective and reliable applications. So designing and scaling AWS solution is to scale the application to match the desired traffic of users. We have services in the cloud that can do that. We have auto scaling, we have load balancing. I hope you're excited to embark on this journey because this is a very important aspect companies are looking for, organizations are looking for, and believe me, they do not have this. A lot of companies are suffering from on-premises, and they are looking towards migrating to the cloud. They just need the expertise. They need the expertise that they can take you to the cloud, which are the professional opportunities which are involved in this masterclass program. We have DevOps engineer, AWS solution architect, the cloud consultant, we have the site reliability engineer, we have the build and release engineer, and trust, you can even work as a senior DevOps engineer after completing the skills and the knowledge from this program. So the skills needed, actually, the prerequisites to be able to do this, you can start from basically no computer background. We have seen people migrate from different fields and do AWS and DevOps, from law, people who didn't even know how to turn on a computer, and they are able to do DevOps and AWS and succeed and have a job. So the benefits of doing this is because it's high in the industry right now. The cloud and the DevOps is really high. And just to name a few of the DevOps tools, we have Git, we have GitHub, which is a source code management. We have Bash shell scripting, which is used for automation. We have Nexus, we have SonarQube to check the quality of the codes that our developers are writing. We use tools like SonarQube to check the qualities, to check the codes for security vulnerabilities. We store the version of the code in tools like JFrog and Nexus, and we deploy these into Kubernetes clusters or in an application server like Tomcat. And we're going to use Jenkins, which is a CI/CD tool that is going to help us automate the entire process for us. So basically, we just have to set up and configure these pipelines to run as expected. So I hope that you are excited to embark on this DevOps journey or AWS. It's going to be a great one. Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Wow, thank you so much, Darren. And I hope that you're going to have a lot of students reaching out for us to elevate them from on-premise to the cloud, right? Hello,
Yes.
everyone. How are you all doing?
Good.
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 Again, I just want to appreciate you all for spending time, with us today. I know if you're here, it's actually because you have a zeal to get into IT. And I want to reassure you that you're in the right place. We definitely understand the complexity, but we are going to simplify that process for you. So a little bit now, let us talk about the significance of data management in today's world. Remember, all of these trainings that we have talked about, right? About 5 of them, 3 of them are pointing towards the data platform, right? Now, the first here, I want us to look at the significance of data management in today's world, right? In today's tech industry, right, data is the lifeblood of organizations, powering decision-making, and innovation. So every company today, data is what they actually use to be able to make informed decisions. Data management plays a pivotal role in harnessing the potential of these valuable resources. So if you are getting into a career in data management, then you are definitely helping a company to be able to secure the data in order for them to make informed decisions. And this data management is just a set of principles and the things that you do to be able to help secure and manage a company's data. Remember, we are talking here about things like data analysts, right? Data scientists, database administrators, database developers. These are all the roles under the data management platform. So every organization, you have at least key roles for data management. And these are the ones that I have mentioned. So if you look at what are the various careers under the data platform, you see a career in data management is a dynamic and rewarding choice in today's data-driven world. Like I mentioned, everything in the world today is being driven by data. Professionals in this field are responsible for ensuring that organizations can effectively acquire, store, secure, and utilize their data assets. Again, data is an asset, even for you. Data management career path, offer diverse opportunities, including the following: database administrator, database developer, data analyst, data architect, data engineer, business intelligence developer, data scientist, and data compliance and private officer. There are a lot of other data-related roles in IT that you can do. But our trainings here can guide you to a couple of these roles in IT. So, sorry, let me go back. Wrong slide.
Understood.
Right. So the trainings that we offer can guide you in picking any of these roles in IT. So the next thing I want to talk about is inclusive learning for all at JoinIT. Why should you take this training here at JoinIT? The first thing is that we welcome everyone, irrespective of your background. Even if you're an absolute beginner, this is a place for you. We take you from the basics to advanced. Our trainings are not like we just come and we start giving you some of these high terminologies in IT. We start from the very basics. You will learn things that you thought you knew, but you did not. Next is individualized pace. We go as fast as the slowest student, as we have mentioned. It's not that kind of thing that we are rushing that let us do this. We mentor you as an absolute beginner. We have the hands-on experience. You perform these labs. If you leave out of our training and you say, I can install SQL Server, yes, you can install it. If you say I can create an EC2 instance in AWS, yes, you can do it. I can look at data and advise a company, yes, you can do it, because those are things that you actually have done them in class. We have a collaborative group work, meaning that we divide you into groups. You work on group projects, you work on real-life projects and present them. We have challenging assignments. We'll push you to go and learn, right? IT is all about research, resolving issues. So we'll push you and we'll prepare you on how you can research and even teach yourself things that you did not know. We also offer you this interview prep. So those are some of the key things that we will do here at JoinIT, right? So the next thing I want to talk about now is just the next steps. What are the next steps that you need to from here? Fill out the application form. We have talked about multiple trainings. All those trainings are starting. So fill out the application form. From there, you get added into a group, like the WhatsApp group that we share this the invitation on. We'll add you in your respective groups based on what you have applied for. Work on your schedule to be able to attend classes. I'm going to talk about the class schedule. Get a computer that meets the requirement. Be prepared financially and just get everything going. If you are good at that point, then JoinIT will do the best for you. So let me talk about the schedule. These classes that we have mentioned, all of them start January 30th. And the good thing here is that we have made the first 2 weeks to be completely free. So you don't need to pay any amount to start this training, being it that you're in Cameroon or what part of the world. We're going to have the first 2 weeks of computer basics, which will be to prepare you to ensure that you know exactly where you are heading to. So don't worry about finances now. But now, after the first 2 weeks, classes are going to start now, which you have to register. You have to pay money to be able to enroll. So we'll offer you the first 2 weeks for free. Prepare your foundation so that after 2 weeks, you can just build on. So the first 2 weeks, we're going to be having classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That is going to be from 8 p.m. Central Time. I think it is 3 a.m. Cameroon time to 11. And this is going to be communicated in the WhatsApp group. So the first 2 weeks of computer basic is free from the 30th of January, and classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The time is going to be communicated. Now, the database administration training after that first 2 weeks is also going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Database development is going to be on Sundays and Wednesdays. The data analyst is going to be on Mondays and Thursdays. Then the AWS is going to be on Wednesdays and Fridays. Again, this might be too much information, but we're going to send this in the group once you apply, right? You might apply for database development now, but later on you change your mind. So within the first 2 weeks, you have time to make all those changes. Now, talking about the training fee for those in Cameroon and Africa, the database development is 310,000 francs. Database administration is 310,000. Database development is 310,000. Data analyst is 360,000. AWS is 360,000. Scrum Master is 240,000. All of this will be shared in the group. So just make sure that you fill out the application form. We capture your information and we'll send you these by email as well. These trainings have really been discounted to support especially those in Africa. We are giving back to our community. Someone in the US taking this training is over 2 million, but in Africa, Cameroon in particular, it is 300,000, as I have mentioned. Now, outside of Africa, we have tried to break this down per location. We know different continents have different way of which life is treating people. So for database administration, data analyst, AWS solutions architect, and DevOps, anyone in the US or Canada, the fee is 3,000, and there is a payment plan for that. For those in Europe, the fee is $2,000. And then from those in the Middle East, it is $1,500. Again, just fill out the application form. You get all this information sent to you by your email and in the WhatsApp group. So at this point, I would like to take questions, a couple of questions, because from my end, I believe that the goal today was to introduce you to IT and the various routes that you can take. I will open the floor for any questions.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate all the speakers. My name is Godwin. I would like to ask, you didn't make mention of Scrum Master, the timing, the days. You didn't make mention of the fee as well.
I think I did. Scrum Master, I said for Cameroon, that is 240,000. And sorry, I'll update that for those in the other countries, right? But I'll update that. I need to look for that information. Then the time for the Scrum Master, I'm also going to push that, but it's going to be twice a week. I will send that information. So just fill the application. I'm going to send that to those who select the Scrum Master training. I missed that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, questions? Yes, Acha.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the opportunity. I wish to ask. I came late though, and I don't know if it was spoken about, but uh, I wish to know if there would be a certification after this training is ended.
Outstanding.
If there would be a kind of certification to show that you took a course like this, because
Of
this
course.
seems more like a bigger thing than what we all are expecting. So I kind of expect that, but not to assume. That's why I'm asking.
Perfect. So there are two things here. In IT, certifications are being issued by the vendor of that product that you're studying. For example, if you take AWS training, there are certifications that you write to become an AWS solutions architect. You write that internationally recognized certification, right, to make you an actual professional. But now, after finishing our training, you have a certificate of completion from JoinIT stating that you have completed a 6-month training at JoinIT, and these are the various things that you have learned, and this is what you should be able to do. That is being issued by JoinIT. If you are enrolling in Cameroon, then you get a certificate, and of course, signed by the College of Technology, University of Boya, and this is like an example to make you understand that this is for those in Cameroon in particular, you know what it means to have, a training from the University of Boya. This is a sample and of course certificate from UB. This one. So you'll see this is being signed by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the training coordinator at UB, and the CEO of JoinIT Solutions. So in Cameroon, this is what you get. But outside of Cameroon, you only get a certificate issued, or end of course certificate issued by JoinIT Solution. Now, all these trainings are certification trainings, and we encourage you that once you're done with this training, write the official exam, which is issued by the vendor. For example, DBAs, you write DP 300. AWS, you write Solutions Architect or DevOps. Scrum Master, you write the Scrum Master certification and everything. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Question?
Yeah, just before you proceed about the certification, is it advisable to just finish the JoinIT training and start searching for job without taking the official certification exams, or you have to take the exam, have the certification? Because I know for a place like people living in the United States, for example, experience is what really matters. You
Right.
understand? So I don't know, do you really need to do that certification and have it first before you start searching for a job, or no?
No, you don't actually need that. Sorry for cutting you short. I got the question. Certifications will help increase your chances of getting a job. It will help to add more credit to your resume. But in IT, when you go on IT interview, they're asking you like questions. What can you do? What have you done? What would you do in this scenario? So your experience will help you. I started working without any certification. It is in the course of me working now that I started, writing my certifications, and I have a lot of certifications. The same, somebody will ask, do you need a degree to have a job? No, right? Your resume is what connects you with recruiters in IT. It's not as if you need to have the master's, you need to have a doctorate in order to get a job. It is that resume. What is on that resume? What can you do? What have you done? That is what you use to sell yourself in the IT field, right? Is it advisable to have the certification before you start applying? Yes. But would it prevent you from applying? No. Would it prevent you from getting a job? No. So once you're done with your training, 4 months into your training, we start telling you build your resumes and start applying, right? That is what we say. Build your resume and start applying. All right. Questions?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope I'm not asking too much questions. I'm a beginner, so
Please, I have a question.
You're fine. Let me take Nana.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Because my husband and I, we live in the UAE. We're actually both on the group. And my concern is in the UAE, you need a certificate that can be attested in back home in your country. You have to bring it here and attest it in the embassy here before you can find a job. So I want to just ask, so for this certification, that is going to be like a certificate of completion, like what Allison and Coursera does. This certificate of completion, is it internationally recognized? Is JoinIT internationally recognized? Do we have to attest it in Cameroon because we are not Cameroonians? Do we need to attest it in Cameroon before we bring it here? I want to understand how that works.
Okay, like I have mentioned, a certificate from JoinIT is not internationally recognized. It's just attesting that you took a training with JoinIT, which is a Microsoft partner. The certificates that are recognized are the official certifications. Let us say you finish a DBA training today and you write the exam DP300. That is issued to you by Microsoft. That is internationally recognized everywhere. Okay? If you finish in the University of Boya and you have not yet written the official certification, then you get end of course certificate from the University of Boya. That is signed, and they can call your school and verify it. Even JoinIT end of course certificate, it has a QR code where the company can scan it to see that you actually took this training at JoinIT. But does it mean it is internationally recognized, as we'll put it? That does not mean it is internationally recognized, right? What is internationally recognized is the actual certificate for what you have studied, the certification itself.
Okay, so for instance, I'm done with the course. How do I register for the Microsoft DBS 300? For instance, I want to do the exam. Yes.
That is what we say. We teach you the process, what certificate you're going to write after the training.
That also comes with another cost?
No, it does not.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
And be mindful that it is not every training that has a certification. Some are just giving you the hands-on skills, and then you can now get a certification for something else. Okay? But we'll teach you all of these, we'll guide you on the process once we start the training.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, bro.
Good evening.
I just have a quick one.
Please just raise your hand up. I'll call you. Use the Zoom to raise your hand up. I see Njua. Njua, your hand is up. We cannot hear you. You look so relaxed, and we cannot hear you. Let me take another person. Sydney, Adi.
Yeah, bro. Hi, good evening. Sorry, good afternoon. Just a quick one. I just want to know, like, if you're in Cameroon, it's not compulsory or mandatory to study in Buea, right? You can get all the classes online and still get the certification.
All our courses are online. So even if you're in Cameroon, you don't need to go to the University of Boya. You still need to register. Just that the registration process will follow that of UB, because your name has to be registered in UB as you're taking this training under that partnership. It does not mean that you need to go on campus. Okay? We'll just send you links. You fill out the application. Then you'll be attending classes. You will report to UB that, okay, this student is taking this training. This is it. So at the end of the day, you can get a certificate issued by UB. But you don't need to go on campus.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, Esther Joy.
Good evening, everybody. So I have a quick question. My question is about the AWS, the most. Are we going to deal with customer or customer service, all those things, or are we that's the question.
So you are not, all these trainings, you are not dealing with customers, right? It's not like help desk where people call and say, I have this issue, resolve it. AWS is you learning the skills to be able to deploy applications. It's you learning the skills how to design a cloud environment for a company. So it's not like someone working at the front desk in a bank where a customer will come in and be like, hey, I cannot log into my account. I need this, need that. No, you are an IT person providing solutions through the AWS platform.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm totally, satisfied about the response. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Perfect. Yes, let me take Njua now. Njua, go ahead if we can hear you. All right. Looks like you are not ready. I'm going to look on my screen again.
Can I go, please? Crystal.
Fossa, your hand is up. All right. If your hand is up and it's muted, I will not call you. Yes, Fossa.
Yeah, I'm here. So it was a mistake. Thank you.
Go ahead. Krista.
All right, so my question is, when you're done with the class and you still haven't gotten a job, because I know sometimes it takes a while, can you still join the next batch, or and how long can you keep joining and, you know, stuff like that? Yeah.
Good question. So at the end of our 6 months training, we still put you in a 3 months interview preparatory class at no cost. So you'll be there. Even when you don't have a job, you'll be able to stay in that interview prep class at no cost till you get a job. So at JoinIT, we don't kick a student out. Once you have paid your training and you have completed, you stay at the level of interview prep. If you feel like you did not really grasp the concept very well, you come back now as a returning student, you can start the previous class. All you need to pay is a small token for returning student fee, just for administrative purposes. You don't need to pay the entire cost of this training anymore. Okay?
All right, okay, so another one. Okay, so if you're in the interview prep class, is the class, the whole entire class gonna be focusing on the interview prep, or there's still gonna be some type of revision on the, you know, like performance students, stuff like that? Yeah.
No. So the interview
technical
prep
stuff.
class, we teach you interview preps, then we teach you hands-on stuff that are being done at work. So it's going to be like a repetitive of the training, but now not in that structured manner that this is this. We just come and we tell you that, okay, this is what I did at work today, building your confidence, having you on mock interviews, teaching you other stuff that were not taught during the training. It is actually during the interview prep class that students understand exactly what was being taught during the training. Okay, it's not as if you just come and we're telling you that, how are you? Tell me about yourself. No, we still teach you, preparing you for interviews.
I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Noyo, if that is your name.
Well, good evening. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, thank you so much. I want to thank you for all
Chérie,
the
je voulais te
sessions.
dire que pour l'instant, il faut peut-être d'abord laisser.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to thank you for all that we've received today and all the facilitators, those who've been teaching us. I've been enjoying the process from beginning. I was introduced into JoinIT by Joseph Bashi, and quite well in an environment where we have quite a few university students and they are really interested. You made mention of something, you know, for students here, the price is kind of a challenge, and but you made something clear just now, and that in the Middle East is 1,005, and so I wanted to make it clear that we actually Cyprus is we're in Cyprus, and we is divided into two parts. One part is in the Middle East, and one side is in the Europe region. So how do you do that? Where northern Cyprus is in the Middle East area, and the south is in the Europe zone. How do you do zone that for us?
Okay, that is something that is just coming up. I will need to take a look at that. We'll always try every possible means to make it affordable for the students, so that should not be your concern. On what part of the Middle East you're in. So when we get to the point of fee payment, you bring that up. We'll be more than happy to make it very comfortable for you. Okay. Again, at JoinIT, our primary focus is making sure that you grab the knowledge. It's not the monetary aspect of it, right? Although you need to pay a price for the training, but we really focus more on the training because the time, the resources we put in, we cannot match it to what we are asking you to pay. So our goal is for you to learn and be comfortable about it. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, because more of us will join, and I will be very, very glad to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Sure. Just have them fill the applications, then we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Yes, Njua, I'll give you the last chance. If we can hear you. If not, then we'll proceed.
Sir, I don't know if
Go ahead and ask your question. Text your question in the Zoom chat, okay? Alfonso.
Hi, good afternoon and good morning, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm very excited to be part of DBA training. My question goes to the timetable. So our first, when I signed in, it was you showed that the class should be on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. But today you showed that for these first 2 weeks, the pre-course, as you called, will be from Tuesday and Thursday. So my question is, after that 3 weeks course, when I'm enrolling on DBA, so what's gonna be the real schedule for that course?
Okay.
I'm asking that question because I would like to manage my work time and with the course.
Perfect. So the database administration training is going to stay Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that will not change.
Tuesday and Thursday?
Yes. After the first 2 weeks.
Okay. So from 2 weeks, then from the rest of the calendar, it's going to be the same.
Yes.
I said, okay. Tuesday and Thursday, because at first I understood Monday and Wednesday. Okay.
It's Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Perfect. Ignatius.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning, wherever. Thank you for the opportunity as well. And same goes almost with what Alfonso just said. I believe some of us might or have like full-time jobs, and the offs might be within the weekends or within the week. So my question is there a possibility we get like 2 days on the row, like for instance, Mondays and Tuesdays or Wednesdays and Thursdays, especially for the DBA?
Okay. So unfortunately, we don't have a schedule like that yet. We always want to give a break between classes so that if we teach you today, you have at least a day to capture that information before the next topic. This thing, remember, is a hands-on and it might be new to you. If we combine information and give you 2 days back to back, you might be completely lost, right? So always want to go in a gradual step. So, but we'll consider that moving forward. Another thing also is that if you put class 2 days back to back, just say that Monday and Tuesday, the tendency of people finishing class on Tuesday and never opening their laptops or their computers till the next Monday is very high, right? We don't want to give you that too much long break because you might tend to get complacent. So,
all right.
Perfect. Yes, Matilda? Please also ask your questions in the chat, right? I can easily see and respond to them.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Matilda.
Okay, so good evening, good day, everyone. I already asked the question on the chat, but it doesn't seem like it's getting attention.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to know, you have listed like 5 different courses, and from your experience, how do you then recommend what to start with? Because I mean, all of them, one way or the other, they sound very interesting. So, and then if you're someone that maybe this is not your line and then you want to go into it, where should be the starting point?
Okay, that's a very good question, right? The starting point first is the first 2 weeks computer basics. That is the starting point. Once you get that first 2 weeks of computer basic, because within that time you understand a little bit about database administration, database development, AWS and everything. You understand that. But if I have to be very realistic with you, right? Among this training, something like Scrum Master is not IT. You can actually be doing that while taking an IT course. You can add Scrum Master as just something on the side because it will help you. It does not require clinical work. It will encourage you on even how to learn. Then going back, I will say that if you look at, you can start either with database development, right, or database administration. These two will build you a solid foundation to be able to understand how to, first, what is data, how to analyze data, and all of that. If you already have some knowledge about database administration and database development, then start going in for the data analysis is very important. But if you don't have any knowledge about all of this, then it's difficult. So what I would say is that go back, right? I will not be the one to recommend. You have these 5 trainings I have offered. Go to the internet, research about database development, database administration, data analysis, AWS, read any of these, and now put your thought together. If you have questions, again, then call me. I'll be able to pick your brain and advise you on what route to take. But all of them, you can start from an absolute beginner, right, depending on your background. Data analyst, if you did things in school like all these statistics and all of those stuff, there is a good place to start. You really don't need a background on all of that. Right, again, I'm here to help you. Ask your question in the group. You have my number. Leave me a voice note with any specific questions, then I'll respond to you. Okay?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Yes, Angel.
Thank you for the opportunity. I have a series of questions. Number one, while in the course, how long do you have to be in before you start applying for jobs? And then the second one is, she did mention about database administration, that if you do it, is kind of like related to data engineering. So how is the connection? Is it that we'll be learning how to build pipeline as a data engineer? And then, what was the third one? I've forgotten the third one. So.
Okay. The first one, depending on your level of understanding and how eager you are to get a job, I start advising people to start applying 4 months into the training. That is what I advise people to do. And I've had students have jobs 4 months into the training, right? Now, database administration related to data engineering. In this training, you will know, we are not teaching you how to create data pipelines. We are not teaching you how to build Azure Data Factory and all of those stuff. But if you look at the job description, there are some job descriptions that they are looking for a data engineer, but with a primary focus on database administration, right? That way, you can actually learn. If you're already a DBA, learning how to become an engineer is very, very easy. Most companies, they look at people that are trainable. They can take a DBA and convert that DBA to a data engineer. Okay? So the part of DBA that you will learn that is related to data engineer is ETL, extract, transform, and load, right? That is a part. We have a course on that you will learn how to do that. But we are not specifically teaching you as a data engineer. But with your DBA knowledge, you can work as a data engineer. Barbara told you all, her first job, the title was data engineer. But what was she doing? DBA stuff. So the name should not worry you. As long as it's database administration, you have the knowledge in database administration, go for any interview, tell them this is my solid part, but I'm willing to get into data engineering. They will hire you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me take who else? Did Susanna ask a question yet?
Not yet. So I actually have 2 questions. Let me just read them. The first one of our classmates just mentioned about this, the class schedule. That first it was supposed to be on every Mondays and Wednesdays, if I'm not wrong, and Saturdays, right?
Yes, Saturdays are revisions. Normally we have classes twice a week. Then we have a revision 1 day a week. I did not put that there because revision classes are not mandatory, right? You can actually miss a class, but the good thing is that all classes are recorded. We encourage you to be able to attend classes, but if you cannot, you can still watch the video and catch up.
Okay. Yeah, the other thing is that does the school help students to build the resume?
Yes, we definitely help you, educate you on how you can build your resume. tell you what to put there, tell you the skills that you need to put there. And we also, before you start applying, our interview prep team will help review your resume with you before you start applying. So yes, we do.
Okay, all right. So the last, I will be fast. Yes, the other one is like, is it possible to get a job just with the certification of completion? Like you finish the training and yeah, by chance you start and you understand very well what you've been through, and then you go apply for job. You can just show the employer the certification of completion, right?
No.
No? Oh.
So this is how it works. In IT, right? It's more about what you can do, what you have done. It's not as if you just go and say, oh, this is I've finished a DBA course and they give you a job. No. Most of the time, they have never asked for me. They have never asked a degree from me.
Okay.
They have never asked. They have never asked me for any copy of my certification. So all these things I have, they are papers. They are sitting there. What they need from you is a resume. That resume, it has what you have done, what you can do. That is, they are interviewing you based on what is on that resume.
Okay.
So you don't take a certificate and say, this is my certificate. No. Right? That is not how IT is. It's not like other training, other things like nursing. Nursing, for you to be an RN, you must pass a board exam. And if you go for an interview, you must have that board exam, right? You must have written the exam and pass. To be a lawyer, you must have written the bar exam whatsoever and be called to the board. But that is not the case with IT. That is the beauty of IT. What can you do, right? That is what matters.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Sinke, if that was a name.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, you just mentioned that in IT, they'll ask you what you can do. So, my question is, after the program officially comes to an end, like you said, there is another program that you have after the official program comes to an end, that you train for
interview prep.
Yes. So is it like a kind of internship to keep you hands on desk? Because you definitely have to practice. Like you said, there's some concept that you might not grasp very, very well during the course. So during that period, is it like a kind of internship to keep you up to date, or like hands on deck for eventual maybe opportunities of employment?
Is it throughout your training at JoinIT, right? We are still keeping you hands on deck, because when you are taking the training, the practical things that you do in class are things that are being done at work. That is why you can comfortably leave the training and you say that you have 5 years of experience as a database administrator, as a database developer, because you would have been doing all of those things. You work on real projects. Now, you are being taught by professionals. What I normally do, I offer internship to my students, right? At times, you'll be able to, students come over to my place, they visit other instructors, other people in our community that are working. You sit there and you see what they're doing. If you happen to find yourself around an area where you have all these people. During your training, instructors, they'll have tickets at work. When they have a ticket at work and they know, oh, this is a topic that we have taught, they'll share that ticket with you. Okay, this is what I'm working on at work. Try to resolve it at your end. So it is really practical from day one till you get your job. So don't be worried about that. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. So one thing, please fill out the application form, send that to your friends who are looking at. The most important thing here is attend the first 2 weeks of computer basics. Talk to your friends. It is free. This knowledge is free, right? I believe that in the computer basic class, you'll be pushed now to actually register for this training. Okay? Yes, Krista, is there anyone here whose question has not been addressed? Krista?
I have just one last question. Yeah, I think I had two, but you've already addressed one, which is on the CV building and all of that. Just to add, do you guys do something like you help to build like experience you know, to say you have the experience on so and so project, you know, and with which company, for example. Then secondly, do you guys have something like an incentive for students in the US or maybe in the UK,
What do you mean by incentives?
like a slash fee or something?
No, we are instead looking at increasing the fees for those in the US and those in the UK. We have incentives for those in Africa.
What about those from Africa that just relocated to the
Definitely,
UK or to US that are just
life has changed. Just living Africa alone means that life has changed. First, you are now breathing good air. You are having good roads. So the suffering that's in Africa, you don't have it anymore, right? So there's a
I know,
little
but it doesn't put cash in your pocket immediately. You know, that is the reason why we are trying to see if we can do this so that we can,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
hope and
definitely. I'm just kidding with you. For now, the trainings have been
yeah.
discounted. You know, those are the fees, and we'll always try to work with students to make sure that they are able to meet up. We have ways to help students. For example, we don't tell you to pay all this at once. We have split it up for multiple payments, just so it's not too heavy on you, right? So we definitely have a concern about you, the students. We know things are tough and all of that. Well, thanks for that. The second thing about the experience, definitely that still falls under resume building. When you're building a resume, we're going to tell you exactly what to put there. If you just migrated to Europe or the US and you have not worked anywhere, we'll be able to walk you through and tell, okay, use company A, company B, company C, which we are able to help you take care of it. So don't worry about the resume part for now. We will definitely be able to push you through. Okay?
Perfect. Thanks.
All right. Krista, did I hear you? All right. Noyo, your hand is still up.
Thank you. Just one more question. Like you said, if for instance, I'm focusing on database administration, I can start doing my research before the classes start, right?
Definitely. So what we'll do after this orientation, we'll get all those who have filled out the application form. We'll have your email. Then we'll start sending you study materials just so you can get yourself active in the course of the training. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. Someone is asking if they will do internship after the classes. Your training here is part of internship because you're going to be learning the same thing that we are doing at work. If you finish your training and you happen to be in the US or anywhere that we have DBAs, yes, we do offer the opportunity to go shadow a DBA and see what they do. Emily.
Yes, sorry. I want to ask again about the registration. We already filled up the form before we reach the Zoom meeting. So what should we fill back again?
No, you don't need to fill it. If you already filled that out, then you don't need to fill it anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So just those who have not filled it out, you fill it. And you can forward that to your friends. You fill it at no cost, right? So send them to
But what about
and get the first 2 weeks of free computer basic classes. Let me take
what about
please
what
raise
about
your hand up, Guy. Let's follow the process. Use the Zoom audio, okay? I have Chukudi.
Yeah, hello, sir. Please, I wanted to get more insight on the DevOps program, days, the classes would be holding, and what I actually need to get set. I didn't really get the information on it, or
right. So the DevOps program classes are going to be on Wednesdays and Fridays from 8 to 11. Okay, the training fee outside of Cameroon is $3,000 US. Just apply for that training, then we'll send you information.
Okay, what about I'm calling from Nigeria.
Okay, so the training in Africa, that will be, I think it's $600 US, and we'll confirm that with you.
Okay.
Someone is asking, what about I miss a class? All classes are being recorded. After every class, the instructor will send a link to get the class video. So if you do that, you'll definitely, if you miss a class, you'll be able to watch the video before the next class. Someone is asking, what about poor internet? Those are things that we cannot really control. So if you have bad internet and you miss a class, you'll be able to fall back to watch the video of that class. Training hours, for the most part, like I've mentioned, is 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time. So you need to convert that to your local time. For example, in Cameroon, it's 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. The reason this is because people in Cameroon, you might need to work and still take this training. And in Cameroon, internet is not very good during the day because a lot of people are using it. We kind of bring the classes in the early hours of the morning, so internet will be good. He wants to know the schedule for if he is logging in from Dubai. So we'll convert that. Just like I've mentioned, go on your phone, just type 8 p.m. CST to your local time. It will tell you what the time is, but we'll still communicate this before the first day of class. We'll communicate it for the first day of class. Any new hand up? I saw one. Valerie. Oh, did you already ask? You are muted, Valerie.
Okay, can you get me now?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have had this. It's a life-changing experience which I'm going through right now. I'm just so delighted. I'm just so interested also in the database management aspect of it. But I want to know the financial aspect, the financial implication, because presently I'm in South Africa. So I just want to find out. Can you brief me on that?
The financial, you mean like the cost of the training?
Yeah, the cost for, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, sir.
Okay, so what training are you interested in?
Yeah, I'm in for database.
Yeah, I think for those in Africa, like I've mentioned, it's 600. And I'll also share, just fill the application form, we'll send all of the information. It's $600 US. I think in Cameroon it's 300 and something thousands.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Apart from that, I'm just so delighted. Thank you for being a wonderful. I'm enjoying myself.
Outstanding, man. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I don't want to take too much of your time. This class was scheduled for 2 hours, but you see, it can keep going and keep going and keep going. So the only thing I want to ask of you all, prepare to start classes on the 30th. More information will be sent. Just get yourself internet, ask questions in the group. We're more than happy to keep you engaged within these 2 weeks. I mean, this 1 week before classes start. So it's going to be a very interesting time with you all. Okay? So thank you so much, guys. This video is going to be uploaded on YouTube. I will share with you. You can share with your friends. Encourage people. Tell them about JoinIT and what you have learned here today. If you want to change your course, that is fine. If you have already applied for something else, remember the first 2 weeks is general computer basic. Within that period, you can change before you actually pay fees for the other course. Okay, so nothing to worry about now. All right. Okay, guys, you all have a beautiful day. And on behalf of JoinIT,
Thank you very much.
Thank you and have a wonderful time.